Roots Reseller, you give me an offer and I'll take it.
I say, this is Johnny's place, where you can have it for no problem. I got the dollars.
Fixed income, no credit, back credit. Here at Kajun Roots Reseller, that's no problem.
Let him have it.
I've got my dollars and I sent in my best offer.
We say yes. See the special man. The easiest man on YouTube.
You got the dollars? We got the offer? Let him have it with no problem.
Hello, good morning, and welcome on this bright and nice morning at 47 degrees here in Massachusetts. How's everybody doing this morning? Hello, good morning and welcome, and let's see who's in the chat today. Glammaz in the chat first. Hello, good morning and welcome, and Charlie, hello, good morning and welcome. And there's Anitra, I Spy Queen. Hello, good morning and welcome. That's our feature channel of the week. Y'all haven't checked that out. She's getting so close to 1K. She can get to reaching to it pretty soon. So y'all make sure y'all check out and see if y'all subscribe to her. If you like her content, don't forget to make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications, but most importantly, go back, watch videos, and leave her comments. That does help. And there's Stacy. Hello, good morning and welcome. And Angie, hello, good morning and welcome. And Mark and Mike, hello, good morning and welcome. And Anne Marie, hello, good morning and welcome. And how you doing? Good to see y'all. There's Jennifer already dropping them links, y'all. Check them out. Yep. Hello, Jennifer. Good morning. Hello and welcome. And Margie. Hello, good morning and welcome. And how you doing? Living my best life at 60. Hello, good morning and welcome. And how you doing? Good to see you. Angela. Hello, good morning and welcome. And how you doing? Let's see who else is here. King of Russia. Hello, good morning and welcome. Stop. I'm not sure what all that's about, but welcome. Make sure we keep it positive now, okay? First time here, please welcome. How did you hear about the channel? And Corner Clubhouse, hello, good morning and welcome. And how you doing? Hello, good morning and welcome. And there's Mark. Hello, good morning and welcome, sir. How are you doing? Good to see you. Today, I don't know if y'all ready for today. Are y'all ready for today? Are y'all ready to be glamorized? Put a hearts in the chat if you are ready to be glamorized today. But none other than today. We're knowing that as of last week, we started with the Thursday Q&A, all about Poshmark. So hopefully you have some questions, bringing them on in, because hopefully we can get them answers for you today. So let's get glamorized. Let's get some hearts in the chat. Let's fill it up with, are you ready for glamorized? Because I know I am, and she's in the back room smiling and laughing away. Let's bring on none other than Glammaz Closet.
Hi. Glamorized. I like that.
Yeah. They're the hearts. They're coming.
Oh, yay. Oh, you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
And if y'all don't know Glams, she is really into a lot, been doing Poshmark. And so when I asked about doing this type of show, I have to say she immediately said yes. And so just make sure if you have questions that you do put them in the chat. Even if you were to put maybe the big Q or questions all in caps right before it, so I'll catch it. I'm trying to catch them all. Sometimes I will get a little far behind in the chat, but I do make sure I get all questions asked. Once I see them, I do put a star by them so I can make sure not to miss you. Also, I'm going to be dropping, first of all, Glammaz has her Poshmark, and everything we're going to talk about today, all her information is in the description bar below. So make sure if you want to check it out, get an idea of what she's got on her Etsy store. And of course, if you have any questions and you just want to reach out to her, maybe about your store or anything like that, if you are on Poshmark, here's her email. You're more than welcome to reach out to her. So Glams, I'm going to go ahead and have you kind of talk a little bit about your channel, what you got going on, or promote yourself and your channel, and a little bit about leaving not a whole bunch of details, but just a little bit about your Poshmark.
Sure.
And I'll get some links in the chat real quick.
Sure. Well, my Poshmark link is listed in the chat. Listed in the chat that way. um, and uh, and I've had my Poshmark closet for about 3 years now. I started selling on Poshmark honestly because it was, for me, the most user-friendly one. I didn't have to give any more detail than I was comfortable with, really, too much. And it's been a wonderful side thing. I retired a couple of years ago after being on furlough from the hotel business, from catering and weddings, for 32 years. And so when I retired, and Grandpa was sweet and he retired me. He's like, "You want to retire?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, let's do it." So I did it to kind of keep myself busy and keep my brain busy. And it turned into a wonderful side business for me. And it's, most of the time it pays for things like vacation. And of course I love to shop, so it pays for that. And then I started to promote my Poshmark closet. I started my YouTube channel, Glammaz Closet, and Aunt Boo, which is my sister, and I worked very, very diligently on that for a few years. And then we've sort of changed the format over the winter, to just, to just doing the lives. And so now I do lives every single Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And from time to time, I will also do a red carpet review, a little bit of, fun fashion stuff. I will also be doing classy crap auctions from time to time. So I have some classic crap that if you want to check that out. So that's really kind of what we do on Glammaz Closet. We just, we talk about fashion, but we also talk about reselling. We talk about what news is going on in the reselling world for the week. We kind of wrap up the week and talk about, anything big that's happening for all of us. We talk about, news for eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, The Real, ThreadUp, all of the platforms, Macari, all the platforms that, that any news is happening with. So
what are you doing on Saturdays?
Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Central, I will have a live chat, and it's coffee. So BYOC, bring your own coffee, or you can buy me one. I have a buy me a coffee link, and we just kind of hang out and chat and just really kind of go over. Now I also have Sweets for the Sweetest. I do love to do my shout outs. So if there's a reseller that I really think has helped the community or helped me personally or helped a friend, I love to give them shout outs. And I also do salty treats. Sometimes your Glammaz gets a little salty about something. Maybe Poshmark is, not changing their algorithm like they said they did, or maybe eBay is, zeroing something that we all think is kind of dumb. So we do salty treats as well. I trust a Glammaz. I will get salty sometimes.
Not you.
I know, right? Hard to believe.
All right, so I want to make a couple of more announcements. Starting next week, I already have somebody lined up to start next Friday, and we're going to be doing Q&A all about Etsy. So make sure you get your questions ready. Some people have reached out to me already about it. And so if you would like to send me a list of questions, and I can make sure we get some of those answered in case if she needs to, it's a she, if she needs to do some research or not comfortable, because she's very new at YouTube, but I have to say she's not new in the chats. I had a little list of emails that she sent me in reference to her resume of Etsy. And I have to say, I think she's pretty well qualified, and she's a little nervous, but she's one of those that I have to say, watching her videos, I went and caught up on some of her videos. She has, her and I had a chat yesterday, and she is a little nervous, but she said she's just jumped into it, and now she's spreading out and collaborating with others. So we'll get to see her starting next Friday, and be on the lookout for the thumbnail and the information in the description bar for next week's Friday night morning show. And I'm having a meet up with someone after the show today for our What Not Wednesdays. It will go into effect next Wednesday. Looking to get all the details and work it out. The person that I hopefully will be able to go through with this after the show today has a very nice resume when it comes to whatnot. Checked out all of the the stats about the page, the auctions and things like that, and it is looking good. So hopefully we can go through with this, and we'll start it next Wednesday. Also, don't forget on Tuesdays we're doing the Q&A all about Etsy, eBay, and of course here on Thursdays with Glammaz with all about Poshmark. That was the goal I wanted to do for this year, to try to start some new things and get concentrated into different platforms. And so far it's shaping up like I want, and I hope you get to enjoy these type of shows in the morning. Share this out. If you know somebody who has questions, bring them on into the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and say, hello, Tommy. How are you doing? Good morning. Hello and welcome. And Dawn, Southern Finds. Don't forget, she goes live at 9:30 right after this show every Thursday morning. And it's Dawn's from Dawn Southern Finds, Dawn and Susie Woozy, where they go live from the doghouse at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after this show. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a few questions. And you actually made a comment about what you were talking about with Poshmark, and that brought me to my question for today. To start it off with, because I know we didn't get to it last Thursday. And so with this, I like the idea of having to keep the brain going about questions. So my first question, you did touch a little bit about it when you did your little intro about Poshmark.
I'm ready.
I know that eBay has their own little Vero list. And from what I understand, even Etsy has it. And I had a conversation with you about it being also with Poshmark. So talk a little bit about that. And is it something that you have to worry about with Poshmark? And how does someone check and make sure that they're able to list certain things, or what is the things that they cannot list?
The one thing that I really think that Poshmark has on the other two websites is that Poshmark doesn't have a Vero. They literally, I've never, ever listed anything on Poshmark that they said, sorry, that's copyrighted. Sorry, we can't do that. Sorry, we can't. Never, not once. So I've listed if it's a brand name of clothing, jewelry, shoes, hosiery, undergarments, anything like that, accessories, electronics, anything that I've listed on Poshmark, never, not once, no Veros. They don't, now, that being said, you have to keep in mind too, and really shop these stores, because some of the bigger names, like Free People, is one of the bigger names in clothing. Some of these bigger names will actually have their own closet on Poshmark. So you have to kind of be careful about that and be mindful of, not necessarily of listing. You can list anything. But you also have to be mindful of competing with these guys who have the brand new product. So just, as long as you check your comps, check your pricing. I've never had one thing that I couldn't list on Poshmark.
Okay, now that brings me to my next question. When you talk about comps, now I know with eBay, I have an app. I can go on when I'm sourcing and I can see what's sold and what's listed. How is that to be able to be done on Poshmark?
For Poshmark, I go into listings, and at the top of your screen on Poshmark, there's a little Poshmark icon. Next to that, it says listings and it says search listings. Mm-hmm. So I type whatever I'm looking at into that listing. So let's say that I have a pair of Ariat square toe black cowboy boots. I'll type in Ariat square toe black cowboy boots, usually the size that I have too. It helps narrow it down. Mm-hmm. And then it'll drop down a menu that has all of those that are for sale. If I go to the left of that screen and I just scroll down a little bit, you have your choice of available, all availability, all items, available and dropping soon items, or sold items. And I always click on the sold items because I don't want to know what you're selling it for. I want to know what you sold it for. Exactly. And that's the way with, obviously you're resellers, you know what comps look like. So we all want to see what the sold comps are on those.
Right.
Please excuse me for just a minute.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Hello, good morning, and welcome, Yaya, and hello, good morning, and welcome, Tina.
Good
so if
morning.
you have any questions about Poshmark, feel free to ask them in the chat. I will make sure I put a star there so I know not to miss your questions. Now, you were talking in reference to when you're listing things. Do you have, and I know you broke it just down as far as even down to the sold. Is there any other type of things in your app when you're going to search that kind of stuff to kind of limit yourself to, like, you want a certain higher to lower price, or if there is anything that you can do to check off for, say, a size or colors, or do you have to always type that in to break it down into what you're looking for?
It really helps you if you type it in. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can do conditions, all conditions new with tags, shipping, all items free, discounted and free. You can do a price that's like under 25 to 50. They usually do 25 or $50 increments. You can look by brands. You can look by size. You can look by categories. So like women, men's, kids, home, pets, and electronics are really their categories. The one thing that I did not mention, and I think it's important for me to mention, for things that you sell for pets and for any type of cosmetic item, whether it's like hair, makeup, whatever, for things that you sell for pets and for any type of cosmetic items, you do have to sell those new and unused. So if you come across like a bottle of perfume, and let's say that you've got a bottle of Chanel No. 5 and it's only been squirted once, it's still, because it's not in its original packaging, you can't sell that on Poshmark. You can on eBay, and I've sold those on eBay before. Not Chanel No. 5, but another type of Chanel perfume. But that you can't do.
Is there any other products that you cannot sell new, used on Poshmark?
No, not really. You can even sell, honestly, you can sell like, intimates, you can sell shoes, you can sell used electronics, you can sell used home goods. I've got a really pretty tablecloth on my closet. So there a lot of times I like to source the new with tag stuff specifically right before Q4. So in Q3, I really look for the new with tag stuff, which I think everybody does because Christmas is coming and, people are looking for things that are new with tags. But yeah, I've done I can tell you that one of my top sellers on Poshmark is vintage slips and vintage nightgowns. If they have, and guys, if you can call it vintage if they have the United the United Garment Workers, I think it is. If they have the Union bug on the inside where it's like a little tag that says the Union and it says made in the USA, if it's a nightgown or a slip, get that thing online, because those Union bugs mean that it is vintage, because the United States quit putting that on. We don't produce that much cloth anymore, clothing anymore anyway in the United States. Most of it's produced overseas now, but they quit putting that Union bug on in the mid 80s.
Wow.
My grandma retired from the garment industry in the early 80s. She was actually 75 or 76 at the time.
I'm laughing at Mara's statement in the chat, and I'm not going to repeat it.
Oh, yeah, they kind of are, but
I'm not going to repeat that one.
Yeah, I think that's more of an OnlyFans sort of situation, or yeah.
So my next question I know, and again, I'm referring it because that's what I'm used to more on eBay than any other platform right now. When you're listing things at a high dollar amount, does Poshmark back you up when it comes to any type of program to verify that it is authentic for that item you're trying to sell? And is there any program you have to send in to make sure that they can get it authenticated for you?
They do, actually, when it comes to items that you're selling for $500 or more. So let's say that you have a Louis Vuitton bag or a Chanel bag. Those are obviously, anywhere from $1,500 used. They're anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. For things like that, they definitely have an authentication process. So when somebody goes to purchase it, the shipping label that they send you does not go to the customer. It goes directly to Poshmark, and you package it up, you send it to Poshmark, and they verify it, and they will not charge the person's credit card until they have verified and that it's authentic. And they have like independent authenticators. So that's pretty good.
Awesome. All right, Michael says Posh does not have a Vero, but they will not promote a listing that doesn't meet standards. Target is one of those sticky companies. If you put Target in your title, it may not be promoted or shared.
Yes and no. And here's my answer for that. It's because most of what they sell at Target is not Target branded. Even their store stuff is not Target branded. So they have like a New Day. They have their own brands, or like Christian Siriano for Target, or Isaac Mizrahi for Target. And if you put Isaac Mizrahi X and then Target next to it, it will let you do that in the title. And I know that because I've actually done purses like that before. So it depends on what you're doing. If you're like Target brand, la 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 la, it's not. There is no Target brand. It's like Method is their laundry detergent, and so Target has sort of sub names for everything.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you first started, from what I'm hearing with Poshmark, usually a lot of people deal with clothing, but I'm understanding lately that they're adding more categories. Kind of expand on that topic on the categories that you can list with Poshmark. And is there any age, like for example, I know with Etsy you have to have a certain year before you can call it and list it on there. Is there anything like that with Poshmark?
As far as we'll have to come back to the age. When Poshmark, when I first started on Poshmark, it was men's, women's, kids, and that was it. And then they added home, and then they added pets, and then they added electronics. So the progression's there, and every year it seems like they add something new, or every sort of 6 to 8 months they'll add a new category. So I really, really enjoyed that. I've tried to sell other things on Poshmark with some little success. But your biggest seller on Posh is always going to be clothing, and it's always going to be shoes and things like that, because that's who is shopping Poshmark. Right. It doesn't have an age that you have to be vintage. It's just sort of understood that, there's, like right now, vintage is generally considered to be, 20 years or older, which means that something from 2002 is vintage. Mm-hmm. When I say vintage, I usually mean from the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even back to like the 50s. I don't really consider 90s vintage unless it's a very, very super Y2K thing, where if it's like, 90s lug sole loafers, those were a big thing. So I don't there's nothing on Poshmark that says that, if you can say it's vintage. You can say it's vintage all day, and you can put it in the description, and you can put it in the search words and stuff like that. But people who are shopping vintage, if they're specifically shopping for vintage, they're going to know. So you might as well not do that, because it's you're kind of BSing people. Right.
So I'm going to take it back to the basics for when somebody decides, I want to get into doing Poshmark, but I'm not knowing how to. I know no matter what platform, it's always a little nervous to get started. What would somebody have to do to get started? And is there any type of, say, affiliate link that somebody can use to help support somebody else that's going to maybe be thinking about getting into Poshmark? Like if I say I want to sign up for Poshmark, is there anybody that we can do a type of referral link or something like that?
I have, if somebody wants to sign up for Poshmark, you're more than welcome to reach out to me, and I can send you a referral link. I get $10 and, for your first sale, and that doesn't come out of your pocket. So that's nice. But honestly, jump in. It's literally, this is how I did it. I went online, it said Poshmark, and I just downloaded the app on my phone, and it said sell. And I just hit the sell button, and it asked me for pictures. It asked me for a title, a description, the size, the color, the category, and the price that I wanted to sell it at. And that was pretty much it. That's it. I've just all of a sudden now I've got a listing on Poshmark. It's addictive how easy it is. It's so easy. But for more information too, I've got a 4-part Selling on Poshmark series that I did. Part 1 listing, part 2, part 1 getting ready, part 2 listing, part 3, how to process a sale, part 4 how to process the order and get paid. So if you want to check that out too, on Glammaz Closet channel, I have how to sell on Poshmark, and I just sort of broke it down to where it's, I want to say, idiot proof. Because I'm the kind of guy who benefits from somebody going, okay, step 1, hit this button. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It's not like, oh, hit the blah, blah, blah button. And I'm like, I have no idea what that is. So it's sort of an easy step-by-step process, and you can do every single thing on Poshmark from your phone. Now, I don't do everything on Poshmark from my phone because frankly, I'm old and I can't see my phone all the time. Let's see.
Okay, Treasure Freak says, I sell on Canadian Posh, and every time I list the China dishes, I get a warning that they prefer I didn't sell it because it's fragile. What's the deal about that?
I get those notifications anytime that I have anything with glass. So whether it's a glass perfume bottle or like a glass dish, I get those notifications. They don't necessarily tell me that they prefer that I don't sell it. What they do is go, this is a breakable item. Are you sure you want to sell this? And I'm like, yeah, I know what bubble wrap is. So, beep, sure. So that's usually the you get like a little pop-up that's like, oh, it's a breakable item. And I'm like, yeah, I know this isn't a pair of shorts. Thanks, Poshmark. You're just, yeah, I'm like, you're being silly, Posh.
Okay, Buying Space has a question or wants to know, are you still doing ThreadUp? They owe me $2.67 and a fur coat.
Huh. Child, I'll be collecting that fur coat. They sell those on the real if it's real. And that's your $2.67. I would call their customer service. Yes, I send to ThreadUp. I will send hey Hot Mess. Hi Amy. She's just down the street. And I'll send a box to ThreadUp, and then they list it, and then I get the monies from that. Now I do this with like, if something is sitting in my closet for 6 months and it doesn't sell, let's clear out the closet and make room for new stock. So I'll do that to clear out my closet from time to time for things that just I thought they would move and they're not. So it's a great place to kind of expand your inventory. My problem is that ThreadUp also has those fun boxes. And if you guys have friends that are ThreadUp junkies, they will send you, like, I get like, I'm not going to say who it is, but I have like 3 or 4 different people who are like, hey, ThreadUp fun box, go. So I'll get like, maybe a designer box or like a fun box or, some DIY denim jeans. So it's just a way for me to take old stock and use it for sourcing. But you can actually get paid out of that too. Veronica Mitka gets, she gets the money. She gets the money up front.
All right. Steadfast Renee would like to know, I have a question about sharing. I want to share only within Poshmark, but when I try to share, it seems to want to share it to other platforms. So I have never shared. So I've never shared.
That's interesting because when I share through Posh, it only shares to Posh. Now it'll say share to all your followers. And then it'll also say like share to, I don't know, designer, blah, 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 or something like that, which is usually like a Poshmark party. I've never experienced Poshmark sharing my sales with my items with any other platforms. So I'm not sure. Renee, I guess my question would be, are you using something like Venmo where it's a cross-listing thing? If so, you'll probably want to go through the Poshmark app, or Posher VA is my favorite bot. So you'll want to go through those applications for sharing your Poshmark closet if all you want to do is share your Poshmark closet.
Amy says y'all need to get together and go to a bin store. She needs a good day for thrifting.
Yes, and I need to source. I'm getting to the bottom of my death pile again, which is freaking incredible. And everything else I have set aside for specific auctions and things like that.
Okay,
So
Renee, Michael says if you link your Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook, it will ask you if you would want to share those platforms to those platforms. You can also just click the slider to turn those platforms off.
Michael, thank you for that tip. That's a good tip because I have never linked my my social media with my Poshmark platform.
So is that like sharing it out as well, where you can share it to them as well if you did that?
Yeah, and if you want to share your items on like your Facebook page, you can do it on Twitter. I think you can do it on Instagram. Michael just mentioned that. If you want to share it on your social media, you can. I just have all of that turned off, so it would automatically not. Sorry, I thought you meant like other platforms like eBay or Etsy or something like that.
Hello, Cheryl. Hello, Ella. Let's see.
Hi, Ella.
Ella says, Renee, you can also go into your settings to change it.
Mm-hmm.
I used to share it to Twitter and etc. Girl, it's too hot for you to be putting no blankets on, even up here. You can have your blanket. Now I really have to go. Have a great day. All right, Amy, thank you so much. I just saw another question. Did I pass it? Okay, never mind. We got that one. Let's see. Dana, are you having an auction before Fat Tuesday?
I am not. No. My next live auction. Okay. I've got the next live auction that I've got confirmed is March the 30th. There's something that I'm working on also in late March, but I haven't talked to all the parties about it. It has to do with a fundraiser. So I have to talk to the people who I'm actually, doing the fundraiser for and making sure that everything's okay with that.
Okay, Renee says, no, I am talking about just Poshmark. So I haven't used Posh for a long time. I did not link any other platforms knowingly. So the only thing I've sold on Poshmark is a ceramic teapot.
Oh, I love ceramic teapots. Yeah, if you're talking about just Poshmark, and you're not talking about like Instagram and social media, then yeah, it shouldn't share with other platforms. It wouldn't share with like eBay or Mercari or anything like that, unless you're using like Vendu or List Perfectly or something like that.
Now she says she wants to go back and try it, but she's not liking the idea of the 20% fee. Is that the only fee they charge you, or is there anything else that they charge you other than the 20%?
The only thing that they charge you for your sale is a 20% fee. If you send out an offer for like discounted shipping or free shipping, they charge you for that. So most of my offers include like a $2 off. It's like $2 and some change off of shipping.
Now that brings me to my next question with not only the fees, but with promoting other than just sharing your closet.
Mm-hmm.
Can you use, or is there anything you can use to do like promoted listings and or promoted discounts and or coupons? And if so, how does somebody go about doing that?
It's not like eBay where they have like the promoted listing where you can click the thing. You don't have that with Poshmark. You do tend to get more, the more followers you have, the more exposure you have, obviously. With Poshmark, as far as like promoting your closet, sharing is going to be the number one thing, which is why I got the bot to begin with. That's why I paid the $25 a month for the that's why I pay the $25 a month for the Posher VA, so that it can share incessantly. You can share up to 10,000 items a day. So I just, if I have 400, I'll share those over and over again until I hit 10,000. And you can set that up to do automatic sharing at certain times so that you don't have to touch it. There is really, if you have a sale, my recommendation would be to reach out to people who have purchased from your Poshmark closet in the past. Look at the past 90 days. Look at all of your sales. Reach out to those people individually and you can send them a little note and just say, hey, I've got a big sale coming out. You can also, I really recommend, if you have a YouTube channel, push that Poshmark closet on YouTube. If you have, social media, if you have Facebook, make sure and put up, the link to your Poshmark closet and say, hey, I'm having this big sale. And then as part of the people that you share with, like I have 100,000 plus followers. So if I'm doing a big weekend sale, I just, put out a couple of big signs in my Poshmark closet. I make them look like listings. And it'll say 50% off, Memorial Day sale, buy one, get one free, or 25% off, or whatever sale I'm doing. And I will, share that.
Okay, now I have a combination because I'm going to add my question to this same one right here.
Okay.
With Poshmark, I know other platforms, there's so many different ways you can do your shipping. But the charges that they charge you for the shipping, or is it fees on shipping? She wasn't clear on that. And so my next thing was, do you offer free shipping, or how does the shipping portion work as far as your labels and stuff like that with Poshmark?
With Poshmark, they have a flat shipping fee for the most part. And there's always an asterisk next to every answer that I give. But let's say that you're shipping out, a pair of Levi's, or a sweater or a coat or something like that. Anything up to 5 pounds, you have a flat shipping fee. It's like $7.95, I think, is the current cost. And that is priority mail. And you don't touch anything. They get the address from the buyer. They have the buyer pay for shipping. All you have to do is get the email from Poshmark that says, you sold this and here's your label. And you just print up the label and smack it on any priority mail shipping and then ship it out. The issue, there are two different things that I will say about that. And yes, you can print up the Poshmark labels onto a regular label printer. Almost everybody who sells on Poshmark does that. I actually print it on paper because I'm old. But that's what you can do. Now, as far as shipping, you can offer shipping discounts, in which case you're responsible for the difference between their shipping fee and your shipping fee. So if you offer a discounted shipping at $5.95 and their shipping is $7.95, you're going to pay for that $2 out of your profits. Also, if you decide to offer free shipping on something, you pay what your customer would have paid, the $7.95. So you don't get to choose your own shipping on that.
Okay.
Poshmark does not let you choose your own shipping.
Michael says you can also do a listing that's not buyable, that promotes your sales, and you can also promote that listing to your followers. Yes,
and that's what I do. That's what I said. When we put the little sign up that says, Memorial Day sale, like I'll put a little picture of like a meme or something, and it'll say Memorial sale 50% off or something like that. And then that little pretend listing I'll share out to all of my followers 4 times in a day.
Okay. Sue says, I'm not a fan of fees. I pay enough for bubble wraps and gas that I listed on new Facebook groups. And men do amazing jobs advertising. Okay.
Cool.
So is Poshmark all priority mail?
Poshmark is not all priority mail. It is for the most part priority mail. The exception to the rule would be electronics. They will only send electronics by first class. So
All right,
it's
Jeffrey, have a great day.
I'm sorry, a USPS parcel. So yeah, they only send that. And then if you have let's say that I have somebody creates a giant bundle, it's like 10 items and it's more than 5 pounds. They do ask that you pay for the difference with the upgraded shipping between the $7.95, and you may have to pay an extra $3 or something for upgraded shipping for the extra poundage.
Oh, okay. Hello, Rita. Welcome. So yeah, if you have any questions, hello, Polly. Hello, good morning and welcome. If you have any questions about Poshmark today, it's all Q&A, all about Poshmark. Make sure you do ask your questions, and if you can, put the word questions right in the front of your statement. I am keeping up with the chat today, which is unusual because usually when we started this, it was kind of hard, but I've been doing pretty good today. And trying to keep questions flowing so we can keep that going for y'all. All right, Dawn, have a great show. And don't forget, Dawn, Southern Finds Dawn, and also Susie Woodsy go live at 9:30. Make sure you subscribe to them and go check them out and tell them we sent you. Jennifer's been dropping links for everyone, and I'm going to go ahead, and if you have any questions, please make sure you do ask in the chat, because today's all about Poshmark. We started this last week because we want to try to get some involvement in questions about other platforms. And here is Glammaz is Poshmark link, and everything we're talking about for all the guests that come on the shows that day. Their information is in and will be in the description, including their email, their YouTube channel, and their platform that we talk about for that day. So make sure you do check out the description for that. Hello, Chicago lady. Hello, good morning. Every time I see you come in the chat, that Chicago song comes in my mouth. Chicago. So. All right, so I'm dropping these links now for Jennifer. She's in here dropping the links for y'all on her phone. Y'all come in. She says hello by dropping your link. So here's Jennifer's information. Also, don't forget, there was some questions that somebody had. We were going back and forth with emails yesterday in reference to that. Make sure you go back and watch videos. Make sure you do leave a comment. Help her with those videos and get her some watch hours. She may have had a couple of old videos, but guess what? You still can get her watch hours for that, no matter how old they are. Michael says, the most awesome and amazing Jennifer has always worked out. That's right. That is so true. All right. So what I'm going to do is at this time, I will drop the link into the chat. If you would like to come on and join the panel, and make sure you do have your camera on, please. So I need to make sure that you are who you are. Verification. And again, you can always turn off your camera if you're one of those that don't like to have your camera on. I just need to verify that it's you. Dawn, morning. Hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Love these morning motivation meetups. And that's what we're trying to do. So don't forget, on Tuesdays, it's a Q&A all about eBay. Wednesday, starting next week, hopefully if everything goes well and planned as well, we will have our What Not Wednesdays. And then Thursdays, we're here with Glammaz every Thursday with Q&A all about Poshmark. And starting next Friday, we will have a Q&A all about Etsy. So make sure you do get your questions ready. And in fact, I'm not sure if she's still in here, but if you would like to come on and promote yourself, she's fairly new to the community when it comes to videos. But I guarantee you, her and I had a long conversation yesterday after the show, and she just jumped in and did it. She was nervous. Now she's got videos out, and she's right at about, I think, 50-ish subscribers. But she's pumping them videos out, and she's also collaborating with others. And so when she reached out to me, we had to get her on here. So
I love that.
If she's still in here, if you are, come on up and let's promote you, because I'm gonna make an announcement, and I want to make sure you're here so we can promote your channel. Let me see if she's still here.
I think Renee had a question too. If you don't mind, I'll go ahead and
highlight it.
She said, I went over to Posh on my phone and I can't find any place to delete listings that have sold and elsewhere. I've only have 17 listings. Don't know how I got 843 followers. We'll talk about the followers. Yeah, we'll talk about the followers in a second. By the way, guys, look, that's my mom. She's so cute. She's normally a smiley person. So, okay. So here is my Poshmark closet on my phone, Renee.
Let me get you big so we can see it.
Let's see. Here's my Poshmark closet on my phone. Well, there's Poshmark on my phone. I'm going to go to my closet. And this is my closet. Now, if I want to delete a draft, if I want to delete a listing, this is what I'll do. And I'll go ahead and show you until the thing. So I'm going to, let's say this Pendleton skirt, cute skirt, huh? I'm going to go down here. See in the upper left-hand corner how it says edit? I hit edit. Now it'll let me go to the listings, and I just scroll all the way down and see where it says copy listing or delete listing. I just hit delete listing, and that will delete it. And that listing is gone. So you just, are you sure you do not want to edit listing? Yeah. So just go to that edit button in the upper left-hand corner. So you just pull up the listing, and then you hit that edit button.
Now, is that for either deleting and or editing it no matter what?
Correct. And again, most of the work that I do when it comes to like adjusting my listings, most of the work that I do on my laptop rather than on my phone. You can do all of it on your phone, with the exception of like the Posher VA, which you can't get on the phone. But when it comes to adjusting my listings, I usually do it on my laptop because it's bigger and I can see it better.
All right, I want to say hello to Purple Wings because it's always hard for me to tag her in the chat. Hello, Purple Wings and Wildflower. Perfect. The edit button is what I was looking for.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the smallest thing that'll hang you up. Like it took me probably a good 6 months before I finally realized that I was like not posting enough pictures. And I was like, why am I not getting sales? Like the first 6 months I would get like the occasional sale. And it was because I wasn't sharing enough. I would share like my closet, one thing a day, one thing at a time. And it doesn't put you at the top of the search bar that way. So I'd get the occasional sale, which I would celebrate like one sale every 2 weeks. And I thought that was the coolest thing. Wow. But yeah, it takes a little while to kind of get your feet wet, but.
All right. I don't know how Jennifer, and when I talked about this and she put this channel link in the chat, this is who's going to be on the, make sure you check this. I'm way off. The Designs Laura, check out her channel. She will be our new Q&A all about Etsy starting next Friday. So check out her channel. She has started doing some sneak previews on like some of the auctions that she's starting. She's been putting out videos, just started. We had a good conversation about she just did it. She was nervous. She kept wanting to redo things, and she said, no, I'm just going to do it. And she did. So check out her channel. She will be the new Q&A on All About Etsy starting next Friday. So come check her out and support her, and go check out her channel. And she is talking in some of her videos about who she's on, collaborating with other channels coming up. So check her out.
I'll have to check her out, especially I have so much vintage and it doesn't move on Posh as quickly as it moves on Etsy. And I have like really good vintage. So
you cannot delete sold listings though. No, not sold.
No. Once it's sold, it's publicly sold, but it is marked sold, so you can't resell it either.
All right, Michael has a question. It has been a while since I was on Posh. You can't delete a sold item off your closet, correct? No. Okay, we just
that's correct. Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't know why that is. I can venture a guess. And I can venture a guess and say that maybe it's because back you used to be able to use people's photos to be able to reposh something, to resell it. Mm-hmm. So let's say that I get a pair of shoes and they're my size, but they just don't fit correctly. So I want to resell those on Poshmark and get my money back. So you used to be able to use people's pictures. You can't do that anymore. If I try to reposh something, I have to take my own photos. So maybe
Kajun has a question about what is a sharing bot? The bot, yeah.
Yeah. So we just, bot's the short for robot. And honestly, it's just, or a VA, right? A virtual assistant. What it is somebody doing the boring work for you. Honestly, it's a computer it's a computer program that does the boring work for you. So if you if you sign up for Posher VA, and I don't have a link. I don't promote it. I don't get money from it because I don't have that link and I don't promote it. But that one is I tried two, and that one was my favorite of the two. So what I do is I pay $25 a month, and for $25 a month, I can pre-program my Poshmark closet to share, which means that I don't have to go in and physically hit share, like, and it'll share your items up to 10,000 items a day. So up to 10,000 shares a day. I have 416 items in my closet right now. I usually stay between 400 and 500. I'm not a power seller. So I'm not like looking to make like, $4,000 a month from Poshmark. That's not what that would put me in a different tax bracket and absolutely kill us on taxes. So, I sell, I sell probably a good, anywhere from 400 to 1,600 a month is usually about my average. So I share my 400 to 500 things a day. But the bot will share it over and over again until it's maxed out. And the good news about that is that every single time that you share a listing, it puts you at the top of the search bar again. Now, remember that there are, 2.5, 3 million people doing the exact same thing. So it's really important that you do bulk sharing.
Bulk share now, which is you can now bulk share, which is now a huge improvement.
Yes. If you don't want to have to pay for the sharing bot, if you don't want to have to pay for a Posher VA, then you can actually do that for free on Poshmark. It just doesn't have, it's just not as, it just doesn't have as much, I don't know how to put this. You can't get as specific as you do with Posher VA. You can't pre-program it. You can't put in, like, you can do bulk offers, but it's more of a pain in the butt. To put it bluntly, it's not as user friendly as like the Posher VA.
All right. Michael says Posh VA will share your closet. It will follow people. It will also make offers to liked items if you just want. Very important cost. Now, let me ask you this with that. When you do share, when you do your sharing on your closet, do you do it in categories or you just do in general?
For mine, when I'm using the bot, I don't do it by categories. I do it in general, but it has to be like for available items. But the bot also has, the Posher VA also has an option where you can like delist and relist. So it'll freshen up all of your old listings. It'll take them out and put them back in. So it shows up as a new listing. So it's sort of, it's really good for like if you've got stale inventory that that you really feel like it's going to sell now that it's this season or something. Just delist and relist. You can send bulk offers. You can send you can have an offer to liker where you specifically, if somebody likes something in your closet, you automatically offer them a certain amount of money off, or discounted shipping, or both. So it just has a lot of options. And if you are sharing on Poshmark, if Poshmark is in your top two, I would say categories, it's definitely worth it if they're in your top two platforms.
Now, besides promoting, is there a formula that you use for doing sales on Poshmark?
You can do a bulk offer. So you can do, and you can type in specifics on that for Posher VA. So let's say that I wanted to offer 25% off of my entire closet because it's Christmas or the day after Christmas. And I'm like, okay, day after Christmas fire sale, 25% off all the things. I can set that up with the Posher VA and have it send out those offers. And then actually I can get more specific and say, okay, the minimum earnings on this have to be, this much or something like that. So I can say like the minimum earnings are $4. Very, very minimum that I will take. So it would exclude those things that I have listed for like, $6 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. You can also share other people's closet. So you can always turn teams on to remove their closets and share them cost to VA. Share the cost of the VA.
I have never done that. So Michael, that's a really great point. I would love to check that out. I don't mind the cost of the VA. So for me, it's economical. It's the, if I'm profiting anywhere from, again, 400 to, just depending on the month. Some months it's 2,200. Some months it's, I make $360. But overall, with my profit and my cost of goods, I feel like the $25 a month for my specific needs is worth it. But if you're on a strict budget, absolutely cut cost any way you can.
Okay. And if anybody else has any questions in the chat, you're more than welcome to put it in the chat. And if you'd like to join us on the panel, you're more than welcome to do that as well. I am looking for
Michael, thank you so much for that insight, by the way. He's such a sweetie. I love you. I love my Michael and Kevin.
Oh, here we go. Also, don't forget, Glammaz Closet's information is in the description bar below. Jennifer has been dropping links throughout the show. So I want to make sure I drop her links again in the chat so you can go and check out her channel, get her some watch hours while putting her playlist of her videos together. She has been putting out new content. So make sure you go check her out and show her some love and support as well. Here is her Etsy store. That way you can also visit that and check out that she does a lot of listings on that through her videos. So check that out. And these are just some of the ways you can support her for all that she does, not only in this chat, but for every chat that she goes into. And yes, if you haven't seen her videos and see how beautiful those long nails are, she's doing all of this on her phone with those nails. How she does it, I don't know. Because I cheat and copy and put it in the private chat so I can copy and paste it for y'all in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how she does it. All right. And also, I just saw Van City Adventure. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. All right. And also, don't forget that Dawn's Southern Finds, Dawn and Susie Woozy go live from the doghouse. They will be starting momentarily. So make sure you go and check them out and tell them we sent you. Show them some love and support as well. They do that every
let the dogs out? Sue.
Sue.
All
All right, let's see. Dee Dee still been listening while headphones. Yes, Miss Dee Dee, I hope you get to feeling better soon. I know you've been under the weather. All right, sucks you made a little angry about her blush. Aw. Aaron, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome back. And Lisa, hello, good morning, and welcome. So yes, don't forget, you can always come back and rewatch this video and leave comments. Don't forget to check the description bar below for all of the information for Glammaz. We do this every Thursday with this. And also don't forget, starting next week, we'll be adding the Whatnot Wednesdays. And on Fridays, will be all about Q&A about Etsy. So please make sure you do check out these channels. I've been trying to start something new every day of the week, different. And so that's what we're going to be at starting next week. So make sure you come out and check that out next week. Start looking for the thumbnails on Sunday. Making sure if you haven't, I don't see any other questions. Let's see. I want to say thank you, everyone. Oh, hold on. No, wait. I want to thank you, everyone who's come out, supported the first one. Yes. That's what we're here for. We got to support everybody. Try to anyway, you know. So yeah, if you would like to come on after the show's over, you're more than welcome to. I don't have any other questions. I don't see no other questions for today because I'm trying to keep it like a cliffhanger for next week. Dawn, thank you all. You're welcome, Dawn. And so if you have any questions, don't forget to bring them in next week and make sure you ask, especially if you're thinking about getting into Poshmark or any other categories that we're talking about during the show starting next week. Get your questions ready for next week because starting Tuesday will be all about eBay with the Bargain Effects Tommy. And Thursdays again back with Glammaz, and I'll make more announcements as we get it all confirmed for next week. So don't forget to check out everybody's channel as you buy any new coins. Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I went to a coin show last Sunday, and we're going to go to one again this weekend. Sherry, hello, good morning, and how are you doing, sir? Good to see you. Learning quite a lot. Yes, and that's what it's all about. Bringing tips and questions. So make sure you do write some down and bring them up next week. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to end the show. But before we do, I want Glammaz to promote her channel and tell everybody a little bit about what you got going on for your channel coming up this week, this Saturday, and anything else you got coming up for announcements.
Absolutely. Okay, so this Saturday and every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, that's 9 a.m. Mountain and 8 a.m. Pacific, we have Glammaz Live Coffee and Chat. And we go over the week in reseller news, what's happening. It's kind of a water cooler moment. We also go over fashion news. I like to give fashion updates. And also anything interesting that we've heard on the news about, Etsy, eBay, whether there have been, whether somebody's taking over a company or whether things are changing with algorithms or things like that. So we always like to share as much information as possible, but I believe in having a fun chat too. So I like being able to do our 7th inning stretch. I love being able to do the sweets for the sweetest and give shout outs to all of the people who have, made this reselling world such a great world to be in. And of course, it wouldn't be your Glammaz if I didn't have a little bit of salt, right? Because if you've got sweet and salty are best together. So I do get a little bit salty. I have Glammaz salty treats every Saturday morning, which a couple of my friends are like, yeah, that's my favorite part. And I'm like, yeah, I bet. Because it's more fun to hear somebody go, okay, you don't do this. Now I do have Glammaz extra salty and very opinionated red carpet review. That is coming up because it's red carpet season. So we've had the Brit Awards, we had the Grammys, we had Haute Couture Fashion Week in New York, and we also had let's see, what was the other red carpet? Golden Globes. So I wanted to catch up on all of those before we head into Oscar season. And before the Tony Awards, because the Tony Awards, hello. So before we head into Oscar season, we're going to do the red carpet review. That is on Thursday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is a live review. And right after that, Veronica Mitka is going to have her relist and relax. So we'll be able to relax and talk about it. But yeah, I have an open chat and ooh, child, I do get a little salty. And some of the things that you think I'm going to hate, I actually kind of love for different reasons. And some of the things that you would think that I would love, I'm like, oh, put me to sleep. I'm like, my God, why did you even bother showing up on a red carpet if you're just gonna dial it in? So anyway, we have a lot of fun and it's super salty and I'm very opinionated, but I love talking with the chat about it. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you'll join us.
It's actually pretty interesting every year when you do that too. So yeah. Also want to say hello to Shanika. Hello, good morning and welcome. And if you would like to come on after the show's over, you're more than welcome to. And Christine, if you have a chance, can you join me after the show? I have a question for you that's very important about Restream. So with that being said, like I said before, in each and every show, again, thank you, Glammaz, for doing this with me on every Thursday.
Such my pleasure.
It's been a great acknowledgement of knowledge that you're sharing with everybody, and I really appreciate that. So with that being said, like I said before, in each and every show, love always. Love is always free. Please be kind to one another till we meet into another chat. Have a blessed and fabulous day. And until we meet again later, peace out. Hello, Christine, the Royal Squirrel. Later.